Legend who's had his own Super Bowl experiences with both teams that participated. He joins us this morning via Facetime. The Hall of Famer does to talk all things Super Bowl. Mr. Anthony Munoz. Anthony, thanks so much for making time for us this morning.
Thanks, John. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too, my friend. You know, it's been almost 40 years since you played in that first Super Bowl for the Bengals, that sort of thing. When the game is approaching today, do the memories start to come back?
They do, especially when you're sitting, waiting for different events and you're watching highlights and you see the Montana, the Taylor, the Super Bowl 23, or you see the goal line stand of that first one that you just mentioned in Pontiac, Michigan. So yes, I am just flooded with a lot of memories.
Now you played there in Pontiac, Michigan. They very rarely play up north anymore in these kind of conditions. Do you wish that you had more that were in like Miami?
Oh yeah, in fact our second one was in Miami, and for someone that's retired and that makes the trip to the Super Bowl sites, Miami, Florida's always nice, Arizona's always nice, Southern California. So yeah, unlike last year when I was up in Minnesota, which that cold was just on a different level. Oh
yeah, absolutely. Is there a memory or set of memories that kind of set this out for you, or was it just the whole experience?
Well, I think the fact that, you get drafted, you make an NFL football team, and then those goals of winning during the regular season, getting into the playoffs, and then the ultimate goal of playing in the Super Bowl, that's what you train all off season for. That's what you work so hard for during camp and during the regular season. So it's, sure, the Super Bowl itself is a great memory, but for me, it's that journey. Of course, the first Super Bowl, we came off a 6-10 season, previous season, and then the second Super Bowl, we had a 4-11 season previous going to Super Bowl 23. So it's the whole journey that you go through with all the guys, and the cohesiveness, the togetherness, and the bond that you establish in getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the thing about it is it has to be one of the great experiences that somebody can have when you know you are at the top of your profession. I know it sounds cliche, but you play to win the game, but just to make that game is spectacular.
You're right, and we had the fortunate opportunity of playing in two. We didn't get a win, but you're right. I mean, you're competitive. You want to win that final game because there's two teams left, and they remember the Super Bowl winner, and they say, "Oh, by the way, who did they play?" But yeah, you want to win the game. But the fact that I had a chance to play in 2 Super Bowls in my 13 years, I'll never forget that, and I'm just thankful that I had that opportunity to play in 2 with guys like Kenny Anderson and Boomer Esiason and Max Montoya, Chris Collinsworth, and a plethora of other guys that the relationships have been long lasting.
Yeah, you have been out of the game for a while now, but I would guess that since then you would say just as important to you in your life is your family, your faith, and your foundation, and probably more so.
Yeah, I agree. After I've been out for a long time, and I've had the opportunity, of course, 40 years into my faith journey, which is on top of the list. My faith, my family, with my wife, Dee Dee, we just celebrated 40 years, our 2 kids, Michael and Michelle, and then their spouses, Luke and Emily, and all the 11 grandkids. But then, having the opportunity to do things like we do in the great city of Cincinnati with the foundation and try to really use the platform that God has given us to hopefully impact young people from elementary school through high school seniors that are going off to college. And I just love doing that, and I'm thankful that we've been able to do that for many, many years in Cincinnati, and hopefully that will continue.
And you have made a big impact both on and off the football field. You are a true Hall of Famer, my friend, and I appreciate you spending a couple of minutes with me today to reminisce about your playing in the Super Bowls.
Well, John, anytime I get a chance to see you and have a chance to chat with you, I really appreciate it. Thanks for you taking the time to have me on air.
All right. Take care. Anthony Munoz. Thank you so much. It's 9:50.